Welcome to Full Sports Press. I'm your host, Brian Hill. This is the sports show that's been with its children for too damn long. I mean, golly, they're killing me. Every day's a blessing. The Super Bowl is just around the corner, and despite the lack of usual Super Bowl hoopla because of COVID and such, the hype train is still running at full steam. But before we hop aboard, it has come to my attention that some of my viewers may be unfamiliar with specific sports references, and that's okay. We here at Full Sports Press pride ourselves in creating inclusive sports content for those we consider sports impaired. With that said, I'd like to invite you to hop on the kiddy hype train so you can feel slightly less terrible about your lack of sports knowledge and potentially gain some insight into some of the big names and faces of the upcoming game. My goal is that by the end of this episode, you'll feel comfortable using such phrases as touchdown, interception, and roughing the pumpkin. If you thought that last one was a real thing, it's a good thing you're watching because it's nonsense. But yeah, you should feel a little silly, but it's okay. We'll start things off with the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are back in the Super Bowl after another spectacular season from quarterback and frontrunner for Future Person of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. Blessed with a full head of hair powered by Head & Shoulders and an arm like Gumby, Mahomes has quickly risen to be one of the top players in the league. But for as silky smooth as his curly hairs are, Mahomes hasn't been able to lead the Chiefs all by his lonesome. One, because that's impossible, and two, because he's surrounded by freak athletes, many of whom are considered to be the top of their position. On offense, he's got tight end and former Chippendales dancer, Travis Kelce.
Touchdown, Travis Kelce. Every tag.
I mean, let's be honest. That white boy can dance his ass off. And honestly, I'm jealous. I am jealous. I ain't got moves like that. I don't. I ain't got moves like that. I'm sorry. But and if those gyrating hips of Travis Kelce aren't enough, Mahomes also has a wide receiver and human bullet named Tyreek Hill. I can tell you right now that if I tried to move my legs that fast, one thing and one thing alone would happen to me. On defense, though they aren't as acclaimed as their offensive counterparts, the Chiefs have a host of top-notch players in ball hawks. You got Frank, the Shark Clark, and Chris Jones, along with a guy who could get you hyped to shop at a Whole Foods, Tyrann Mathieu.
Hey, dog! Hey, this why we here, dog! This why we here! You remember that stretch we had in September, October? We knew what kind of team we was, dog! Right now! We went through championship swagger! Ain't nothing like coming to somebody else and handling this.
Yeah, come on, go punch a turtle. I mean, oh my God. I think I blacked out there for a second. Tyrann Mathieu, he has that effect on me. Okay, we're back. We're okay. The team is coached by Andy Reid, one of the most beloved coaches in the NFL. But what you really need to know about this guy is that at the age of 13, he participated in a punt, pass, and kick competition where he dwarfed his fellow competitors. Hey, look at this guy. He looks like he's like 35 years old. He's trying to pass as a 7th grader. There's no way that he didn't eat another child. There's no way. But okay. On the other side of the ball, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team led by Fountain of Youth salesman Tom Brady. If you don't know him by now, you should probably just turn the video off because you're probably too far. Actually, no, stop. I'm sorry. I got like 30 subscribers, so please stay. I'm really sorry. If you don't know Tom, he's really good at football. Most consider him the best of all time, blah, blah, blah. This is his 10th Super Bowl, and he's 43, but of course, you know how we feel here at Full Sports Press about him. We here at Full Sports Press have had enough. Now, Tom's offense isn't as prolific as the Chiefs, but he's still got some weapons of his own. One of them being a man whose feet look like a war-torn country, Antonio Brown. Brown is coming off an injury and a history of odd behavior, like the time that he repeatedly farted in his doctor's face.
My bad, dog. This is pretty freaking low. I gotta stay. Not bad. Damn. That shit is.
Why, Antonio? Why? Why is that a thing? You're an adult. But moving on. Though Tom's on a new team, he's brought one of his favorite targets with him, Gronk. Gronk is known for his lovable Labrador-type personality and his dislike for Steve Harvey Lego creations.
Oh, talking about Gronk spots? Hold on. We don't have a ball. This is called a Lego Harvey Gronk spot. What are you doing? Are you serious?
As for the Bucs defense, they're sure to give the Chiefs something to think about. With players like Ndamukong Suh, Patrick Mahomes better watch out. Just ask Jay Cutler.
I thought this was a very serious injury.
Once again, if that was me, Suh isn't the only one Mahomes needs to worry about. There's also Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. If you don't know Paul's story, it's an interesting one. After a 4th of July party gone wrong, Paul lost part of his hand to a firework that exploded, and he was kicked to the curb by the Giants like spoiled milk. But now, Paul is back in the Super Bowl, and the Giants are, well, the Giants, so good for him. As for the Bucs head coach, they're led by Bruce Arians. It took a long time for Arians to get his chance at a Super Bowl ring as a head coach, and if it wasn't for his wife giving him the okay, he wouldn't be riding his 1977 Corvette into the big game to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in their 2021 Bugatti Chiron. No matter which car finishes first or crosses the finish line first, the game will be a classic, the old versus the new. And with that said, it's time for me to make my Super Bowl prediction, because that's what shows do, I guess. So here it is. Full Sports Press predicts Kansas City Chiefs will defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 45-24, causing Tom Brady to think whether that 1977 engine is really as good as he thinks it is. If I'm wrong, I mean, who cares? There's definitely been worse takes.
I am predicting Johnny Manziel will become even bigger in the city of Cleveland than his buddy and business partner LeBron James ever was in the city of Cleveland. One day,
Johnny Manziel is a football player who none of that came true. So that's all for this episode of Full Sports Press, and I hope you learned something. Hit that like and subscribe button if you did, and if you didn't, do it anyway. What do you got to lose? Join us next time when we start covering hockey. Yeah, hockey. Who knew? So.